dudes and dudettes? So yes, a couple of the incoming freshmen for my teams, both USC and Duke, did play. I think it was this last few days ago in the McDonald's All-American game. A lot of guys who probably should have been playing in that game weren't. Kind of like a Kyle Filipowski for Duke. Apparently he's a 5-year senior, which I never heard of really, but I guess that's what it is. And apparently if you are that, you can't play in this game. But Kijani Wright going to USC looked really freaking good. It's one of my first times actually watching him on video, getting to see what he can do. Looked really good, so definitely happy that USC is getting a talented guy like that. Then Duke had a couple players, but two that stood out more were Dariq Lively. That was the first time once again seeing highlights and stuff of him, and he looks great. I mean, being around over 7 feet and moving like he does, and still putting a lot of effort on defense, and he's offensively skilled as well. He definitely looks like a top 5 guy whenever he comes out in another year or two, which is pretty crazy. Then also the MVP of the McDonald's All-American game, who was pretty much the only one that got hot for a stretch and did a lot of good stuff while he was out there, was Dariq Whitehead, who's going to Duke. That definitely was one of the better players out there. He wanted to shoot better. He probably would have gotten over 20 points, but overall, still looked really good. Looked like a leader who's coming into Duke this fall along with Lively. So, I mean, Duke is going to lose a lot of these guys, but I think they're in a lot of good, capable hands, including the head coach, John Shire, will be taking over, hopefully, in another week or so. Then DeMar DeRozan, this guy has just been freaking going off. I mean, the other day he had like 37 points. Just recently, like the other day or two ago, we had 50-point game against the Clippers. Had a nice dunk in there, but I guess with that other 30-point game before the 50-point game, he ended like a streak that MJ even had. It was like, yeah, the most 35-plus point games by a Bull since MJ in a season, which is pretty crazy, which is obviously why he's getting MVP considerations. And of course, he's from USC, so that's obviously pretty solid, in my opinion. Then ex-USC great quarterback Matt Barkley kind of went under the radar. I did not know about this till I saw it on USC's Instagram page that he did sign with the Buffalo Bills to return to be their backup again. He's obviously not going to supplant Josh, what's his name? I forget his name already, but yeah, Josh Allen. Yes, the main quarterback there. But awesome to see Matt Barkley could still be a backup in the NFL. Then both Anthony Davis and LeBron James seem like they're going to return tonight against New Orleans Pelicans. It's a pretty big game because they are ahead of them in the standings right now, even though I believe San Antonio lost the other day, which pushed the Lakers back in the number 10 spot, which makes them semi-playoff eligible, but gotta get up above the 10th spot because it's pretty insane that they're in and out of the playoffs, which seems like daily. So hopefully this is a good sign. I don't think Davis is going to play a crazy amount of minutes, but just to see him be able to get out there is good enough for me. At least show us something, buddy. Then according to this Fox post, apparently of the Final Four teams that are in there this year for the men's basketball tournament, Duke is the one that's scoring the most points, and they are giving up the second least amount of points, which is pretty good. I don't know the stats as far as whoever has those top stats of points per game going into the Final Four has won the tournament, but it'll be pretty cool if somebody did those stats. Nobody has time for that over here, but yeah, it should be pretty cool to see if they do get the victory mañana. Then, yeah, speaking of Duke, when it comes to Tyus Jones, ex-champion of Duke, the point guard, he's been playing very well for the Memphis Grizzlies. The other day he had like 25 points, also threw in 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 three-pointers in that game. But it's also good to show that his record, whenever John Morant, the star of Memphis, is out, their record is 19-2. So he's doing a really good job keeping that team afloat. And even like top 1 or 2 or 3 teams in the West, it's pretty amazing when their star is out. And obviously, the guy that I said was going to be good eventually should have stayed at least another year or 2 in Duke. But yes, he is becoming a very solid NBA player. Then, when it comes to the Chargers, yes, according to Power Rankings, I forget where they're from, most likely ESPN, the Chargers are considered the number 7 best team in the NFL according to their projections. It's pretty nice, but on a betting website, it did say that the Chargers their over-under on total wins this year is 10, which is kind of weird because with 17-game schedule, they would be 10-7, maybe barely making the playoffs, only one more win than they had last year, which is kind of crazy. I think they will get a couple more wins than that. Wouldn't be surprised, and also wouldn't be surprised if all four of these teams in the AFC West got into the playoffs, because there is a chance that can happen. But yes, every team seems to be good enough in this AFC West, which is scary. Then an elite safety product from Rancho Cucamonga. His name is Christian Pierce. He's one of the top guys out here in the West going into college. Not this season coming up, but the following season. So he's definitely a guy USC is targeting and trying to get into unofficial visits, trying to get him on campus, talk to them and stuff. And luckily everything's been positive because he's been able to speak with the new coaches. He likes them a lot. Obviously loves that Dante Williams, the ex-cornerbacks coach, is still there. Has a good relationship with him. Has a good relationship with the head coach as well. And he just looks like a big dude. I mean, he's like 6'2", 180 already. He's obviously still going to add some more weight, but they already say he's one of the bigger hitters in high school football right now. He had some crazy stats of like 100 plus tackles, 9 interceptions in his junior year, which was nice. So he's definitely rising up, even though he's considered a very high-end 3-star type of player. I think he's definitely going to get into the mid-4s, almost pushing for a 5-star, just because it's weird how that ranking happens, because you can be as good as you are as a player, but also if you get 0 offers from colleges, you won't get a star, which is crazy. So if you're only getting offers from crappier schools, not the more well-known schools like Alabama, USC, you'll probably stay a 3 or 4-star. But if you get those offers, they might bump you up, which is, it's kind of weird, that rating system. But overall, he does look the part. He could play linebacker for you as well. He's one of those bigger safeties like a Taylor Mays that USC once had, so we'll definitely be very excited for USC to get him if they do. Then some miscellaneous news. The Batman starring Robert Pattinson recently came out past, I think it's been about a month or so, and it recently passed a pretty big milestone. I think it reached $672.8 million, which is even more than what their Justice League movie did the past like 4 or 5 years ago, where they all came together. So it did even better than that. Obviously, this is also during a pandemic. Obviously, the ending part of it, where there's more people are able to do more stuff, but a lot of people are still scared to go to the movies. Luckily, this did make a lot of money. It should be making more. I think it will. But overall, it does seem positive that they will end up making a sequel, which is cool. But glad it's getting some recognition along the way. Then these new Kobe Bryant shoes came out. I guess they're Bruce Lee inspired, but I only like it because obviously there's like a red and yellow tint along with the black, which is pretty cool because it's USC colors. But I guess a Bruce Lee film had a lot of red and yellow. I haven't seen a Bruce Lee film, sadly. But yes, it's very cool. Just sucks that I know the eBay price is going for like $800, which is insane. So I'm sure it's not that much if you got it from Nike itself. But overall, that is a cool shoe if somebody wants to get it for me, Christmas or birthday, you know? Then a randomly NBA executive said that Talen Horton-Tucker, you know, my favorite Laker, young Laker, said that in about 4 to 5 years, he's going to be a great player. Even though he's already been in the NBA for around 3 to 4 years, and he still is very inconsistent, not trustworthy, hasn't really exploded even over 30 points, I don't believe, in a game yet. And yet we still have to wait 4 to 5 years for him to be great. I don't get the logic of this NBA executive. So he can have him. Make a trade for him if you want him, because I do not want him. And then some really miscellaneous news. So apparently they found out about a real Spinosaurus. They found like the remains or the bones of it, of a dinosaur, which kind of looks like the one that was in Jurassic Park 3, where it's like a weird fin and stuff in the back, where in that movie, they don't really show him like really hunting his prey in the water. I think there is one water scene, but it's not like a crocodile is where, like how they say that he was, where he hunted his prey like that, and he's even bigger than a T-Rex, which is crazy. So imagine like a whale being able to come out of the ocean like that and attack you as a dinosaur. I mean, it's cool to think about in a movie sense, but in real life, we would be screwed. But I like hearing these little things just because of how amazing I think dinosaurs are. So that was pretty cool to see the other day. So thanks for watching, people. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Fight on, and let's go Duke.